Thank you very much for your time. The President's Cake is set in Iraq in the 90s.
Yeah.
Lamia is 9 years old. She's chosen to bake the President Saddam Hussein's birthday cake. We follow her in her quest looking for ingredients, fearing punishment if she can't bake this cake. Your movie already received a dozen prizes, among which the Caméra and the director's Fortnight's Audience Award at the Festival de Cannes. It's an impressive beginning. Do you think your past experience as a journalist, a producer and a professor helped you make this first movie?
I think every step of my life sort of helped me to make this film and also to be a filmmaker, because as a journalist you need to develop an idea and an understanding of what stories needs to be told, how to tell them, because there are so many stories and you need to choose the one that one of them to report or to share with the audience. So that definitely developed my instincts and understanding of storytelling. And also my childhood memories, also growing up in Iraq and being exposed to different situations, to different incidents in my life, and that was also participating for me in a way to form my own language visually, or like even through dialogue and stories that I share. And also being now also studying as a filmmaker, studying cinema in New York University also expanded my knowledge and skills and gave me a better understanding of what kind of stories or what kind of films I want to make, and it helped me in making this film.
How do you feel, and were you expecting such a success?
I feel great, and I feel very honored and privileged and blessed that the film has been received in this way, whether in Cannes with the Caméra and People's Choice, or whether in other festivals. And the most important thing is that Iraq's audience have responded very emotional and very positively to the film. So that's something you usually wish as a filmmaker, and that's your reward as a filmmaker, is that the film is watched by the audience. And as you said, the film is being released now in France in theaters, in the rest of Europe, and also in the United States and Canada and in the Middle East. It's a very personal and very local story, but somehow it found a universal audience.
Was there screenings in Iraq?
Yes, we did a limited run in Iraq, and it was met with a lot of enthusiasm, and we are doing a wide release in March.
Okay, cool. So after France?
After France,
okay.
Yeah, we were having because during Ramadan, the theaters are slowed down.
Okay.
And
yeah, of course. You were chosen to bring flowers for Saddam Hussein's birthday.
Roses, yeah.
As roses. Did any of the many adventures that happened to Lamia happen to you?
Yes, I mean, the film has been largely inspired by my childhood memories, but also at the same time is incorporated by some memories and interactions that some of my close friends or relatives have had.
Is there a bit of yourself in those kids, Lamia and Saeed?
I think as a filmmaker you try to put a little bit of yourself in every film, in every story, because you want to personalize the story, and I think definitely there is a little bit of me in Lamia, in Saeed, in other characters for sure. I think the playfulness of Saeed and I think maybe the persistence of Lamia are something that I would relate to personally.
The President's Cake shows the impact of war on citizens, especially on the most vulnerable, kids and the elderly. But it also shows many crippled men who are back from the war. You chose to focus on women, a young girl and her grandmother.
الكيكة حبيبتي تركيها.
قال الكيكة حتى لو صغيرة.
إيش أسويها؟
I wondered why women and not men. Did you want to put some distance between you and the main character, or is it something else?
I think because women and the kids are the first victims of wars, dictatorship and sanctions, and I think they're always main characters in life, but they're not getting the importance of main characters. And for me, in a society that's dominated by masculine rules and patriarchy, I think was very intriguing for me to show you this perspective, and through this perspective of Iraq, through the POV of women and a little girl and Bibi. and I wanted them to be in the foreground of the film, and I wanted everyday Iraqis and specifically women to be in the foreground because it's very intriguing and frightening to see what and how these characters would react and interact in a society that's dominated by male figures.
Adults fight and kids have to deal with the mess. They have to bring the pregnant lady to the hospital, they have to find the ingredients for the cake, they have to deal with the death of a close one. It's unfair. And part of their childhood is kind of stolen from them. Did you experience this transfer of responsibility from adults to kids when you were younger?
Yes, and I would say it's a film where adults are children and children are the adults. You know, the president wants the cake and children have to bring the cake, and adults do the mess and they ask the kids to clean up the mess. So it's a world that, you know, the notions are a bit different, and it's a period where kids were treated as equals to adults. It's a period that actually was a frowned upon if a kid did not drop out from the school to help their parents to bring food to the table. So I wanted to show that, and I wanted to show the impact of what happened to the childhood innocence and to what happened to the childhood children in that time.
Everything constantly reminds of the war. The military paintings on the walls, the planes in the sky, the lack of food.
Yeah.
Was it hard to go back in time and replay your memories, or was it actually cathartic?
I think it was an emotional moment because sometimes I wonder if Saddam knew, you know, I would be doing this, would he be allowing me to live, or would he be, you know, eliminating me? And so it was an emotional process, especially some of these memories are very personal memories. And some of these memories are very personal to people I know very much close or victims of Saddam's. So yeah, it was for me, it was a bit cathartic in a way. Yeah.
The music holds an important part
Yeah.
in the movie. It illustrates very well Lamia's quest.
Yeah. We don't have original music, we have more licensed music. We wanted to be very minimalist in our approach with the music because I think the film couldn't handle a lot of music in a way. So we chose oud, when oud is one of the instruments that was first found in the Mesopotamian and one of the early musical instruments. I didn't want only to show you Iraq, I wanted you to smell it, touch it, feel it, and see the texture of it and feel the texture of Iraq. And for that, I felt this kind of music could help that, and could help stimulate your other senses to not only watch Iraq, but to be part of that environment and sort of feel that you belong there, even for a few moments.
Lamia is close to Hindi, her rooster.
Yeah.
Why did you choose this animal?
Roosters have a meaning in the local culture. They are prophecy animals, and it said every time they crow, they either saw a devil or an angel.
Ah, okay.
And in the film, every time Hindi crows is because something good or bad about to happen.
Okay, so it's not I thought it was a game between her and her rooster, but it's actually a very wide...
Yeah, it has more of a symbolism.
Okay. In the press kit, you say that villagers were very helpful on the set and that you were glad that you did not have to ask for authorization to shoot the marshes. However, you say the shooting was long.
Yeah.
Why was it?
Because you're working with non-professional actors, you're going back in time, you're working with crowds, you're working on water. Every element of these elements slows you down by a lot. We couldn't achieve what we achieved by shooting very quickly and not taking care of every aspect and every element. We are shooting on water, so every time we say cut, that means 40 minutes. We need to restore because you need the boats to go back. You're shooting on water. You need the non-professional actors to understand what's happening again. All of that, so lots of technical and logistical details, and also sometimes the creative details.
You decided to choose non-professional actors.
Yeah.
Why that?
I think this story was one of the stories that required that and was asking for an element of documentary, element of rawness, and I think non-professional actors were successful in bringing that element, because now I think many people look at this film and believe or feel that it has a documentary feeling, and that's because of this kind of performances and faces that was put on screen through the non-professional actors.
It's a traditional question for Le Dernier Mot de Trop and
Yes.
the association. If you had to choose one word to evoke this movie, what would it be?
Nostalgia.
Ok. Le Gâteau du Président sort le 4 février en salle en France, donc ne le ratez pas, c'est un super film. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. 54.